Hello, it's me again. The man who narrated Rexy's documentary. He just wanted me to return to narrate Comic Book Canon episode 237's open. Enjoy.
Oh, hello again, my Canon crew. Yes, I said my Canon crew.
I just want you to know, I now own a 67% controlling stake in the Canon.
That allows me to make all the decisions. Effective immediately, you report to me. Get used to your new normal, gang. Have a great show.
Anything can happen on a comic book canon. Anything can happen on a comic book canon. Anything can happen on a comic book canon. So let's start the show. Joe and Jeff got the juice, keep the show on fire. Josh brings the news straight from the source with no desire. The judge, our wise advisor, keeps us in line. Fresh from the comic shop, showcase your design. Ask Joe the comic book ninja for insights to explore. The popcorn gets to know you from straight to the core. I guess I'll have to think, cause we make some freaks. So much more to discover, this show's a hit. Anything can happen on a comic book canon. Anything can happen on a comic book canon. Anything can happen on a comic book canon. So let's start.
So I guess there's some fallout from last week, and we do not own a controlling share in the canon anymore. What does that mean, Joe, considering you are the head of legal affairs?
Yeah, this looks bad. This seems like an almost hostile takeover from, private equity, which is almost never good for a company. I'm laying low a little bit right now and trying to, figure things out behind the scenes, but it's looking bad, man.
For sure. I think we got an email here. I'd like just to let the viewers know we're doing okay. We're trying to regroup and figure out this kind of new normal. Mm-hmm. But Joe, I don't know if you want to, I could read this and you could tell us what this all means, I guess. So the
sure.
email we got from his people, or actually it's from Rexy. Let's be clear. My 60% ownership is controlling interest, not a sponsorship. This means CNGO dictates the strategic direction of this asset, effective immediately. All creative outputs, including show topics, guest selection, segment planning, and on-air commentary require full sign or final sign-off from my office. Nothing goes live without my express written consent. This is a non-negotiable measure to prevent any further brand dilution and ensure all on-air activities align with our strategy objectives. Consider this the new reality. Do not disappoint me again.
Yeah, it's I don't. You know what? Honestly, I'm not sure where to go from here. We're gonna have to discuss with our team. We have a team of many lawyers, each with their own specific, expertise. But I think what's probably important is to just kind of do things as regular on the show here. Starting off by, talking about one of our sponsors for the show, Slabdex, a very important part of the comic book canon community. Slabdex is used to clean your slabs. It also stops hair loss, reverses erectile dysfunction, and many, many more things.
They've treated us well, for sure. And I'm
glad.
Yeah.
Joe, you know that CNGO is the only sponsor of the canon. You try a stunt like that again, and I will make sure you will never work in this industry.
Yes, sir, Mr. Rexy. I'm sorry about doing that. I'll be more careful next time.
All right, we're just gonna move on with the show. I'm very excited for real though that we do have Chris Killian and his brother Andrew Sanders talking about a Spawn project that they're working on. That interview will be after the news. So again, let's just try and have the best show we possibly can, and we'll just get straight to the news. How about that? Like, try and not let any of this affect us. I know that it is, but we'll push it back and we'll have a good time like we always do. Speaking of good times, Joseph, we always have a good time with
just delivers the news and rumors.
Joshua. Hello, buddy. How are we doing? You look a little somber too. What's going on?
I'm keep having people knocking at my door. There's a guy, well, two guys and one woman, briefcase, They look pretty well dressed. So I'm wondering if it's a new CEO of the Canon.
Rexy's outside your door. That's a possibility. This isn't a good sign right here. I mean, he's not. Well, I'm not getting into opinions here, but I think this is having an effect on his company. All right, I think we just need to just get into the news and rumors.
Yeah,
we do have a guest
on.
coming up.
Before we get into the news, I want to say something. Why the Canon being taken over, it's definitely a bit tough for us right here, but we have to. Let's start off with something positive today, people.
Yeah.
I want to start off by actually congratulating one of our own. They won an award and they were actually accepted into what they're doing. And I think we have a picture.
Oh, wow. Joe, congratulations
Oh my
on winning
God.
Philadelphia. If y'all don't know, it was Philadelphia this weekend. Joe won with this amazing octopus costume. That award, that trophy looks, I don't know where you're going to put that. That looks really heavy. Joe, tell us how you feel. Like in this moment, how did you feel?
I don't even know how to respond to this.
Well,
You even use the same picture of my face as you used on the last one. That's
I don't know
ridiculous.
what you're talking about, but congratulations. Seriously. Like,
Yeah.
Josh,
You know
let's
what?
take a moment.
It's 2025. Joe, we're proud of you. You really embrace the community of the furries, and you're becoming one of them. And I just gotta ask: did you make this costume yourself, or did you buy it? I mean, what happened?
This picture is 100% fabricated. It is photoshopped AI. I think ChatGPT made it.
Okay, it looks perfect to me. Anyways, congratulations. Hopefully it was a big monetary prize as well. Josh, we got to get into the news. We got guests waiting for us. Let's do this.
Yeah, so let's jump into the news here. Oh my God, I'm not doing well. I'm running behind. All right, so let's start with some DCU news. James Gunn says that Blue Beetle fits in very nicely with the DCU. We do have the Blue Beetle show, which I believe will start the animation and voiceover work in the next couple of months. But yeah, I'm expecting Blue Beetle to be part of the DCU. Interesting interview that James just did for Peacemaker. Keep your eyes open for the next few episodes of Peacemaker. We might see a certain cameo.
That's a spoiler. Okay, cool though. All right. That's good to hear. I enjoyed the Blue Beetle. I don't think, Joe, you liked the Blue Beetle. I took it for what it was, which is basically, it was just fun. Like, it wasn't life-changing in any way, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was an entertaining film.
Yeah, it was pretty mid.
Okay. You're so Gen Z, dude. All right, moving on. Joseph. Joshua.
So James Gunn says that they're in early stages of playing some DCU video games. Thank you. I'm a video gamist myself. He says there adds a good chance that David will voice Superman in a game. The last Superman game we got was Superman Returns in 2006 by EA. It was complete trash. Since then, Superman has made, Injustice, some appearances there, some of the Batman games, but I want a open world live action, well, not live action, but open world Superman game for sure. I'm sure more Batman games will be coming, but hopefully this will be good. And like Gunn said, the games will actually tie into the DCU.
That's fun.
So it might be a way of telling further stories and additional characters and whatnot. So I'm all aboard for this and can't wait to see what they're doing with it.
World building, and we're all about the world building in the DCU. I've loved everything that's come out for the DCU so far. Creature Commandos, Superman, and we'll get to Peacemaker, actually, our thoughts on that at the end of the news. But Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not a video game guy, and I'm not a Superman guy, so I don't have really much opinion on this. I do know that, one way that people get into these characters and get into comics in general is through the video games. I think Spider-Man, the Spider-Man PlayStation games got a lot of people into not just Spider-Man and comics, but also a lot of the, the tertiary characters. I know Mr. Negative was big in the games, and he's, a great character in the comics, in my opinion, and a lot more people know about him now through that. So that can't hurt. These are all avenues that, kids get into it, adults get into, reading comics, collecting comics, and that's good for the industry, good for the community.
100%. But again, the fact that it's world building, these games are going to be in this universe. That's exciting. And it's not a novelty. Well, it's fun, but Star Wars does this as well. So looking forward to the DCU doing something like this. Joshua, what do we have next?
Yeah, speaking of Superman, they finally crossed the $600 million mark. They're currently at 605, and it is the first superhero film since Deadpool and Wolverine to hit over 600 million. And we've had quite a few films come out since that came out last year, the year before, I think it was. So hats off to James and them. Superman really, brought the reputation back for the DCU. A lot of people are positive and on track with this, and maybe in the DC fanboy that I am, I'm super excited for the future, and nothing but profit that they're bringing in now, obviously from the movie. It's estimated to shut between 610 to 620 million is going to be their closing box office. It is currently out on digital right now, and I think in the end of September will release on physical media. But so still another month or so to go before they pull directly from theaters. But yeah, hats off to WB. They did it.
So you're saying physical media at the end of September, and then
September 23rd is the Blu-ray 4K disc version. You can currently buy it right now or rent it right now digitally if you want. But for physical media, it'll be next month.
I just want it on HBO Max. That's what I want. So.
That probably, I would imagine, just like they've done with their other films, probably later in the year, October, November. We'd probably end up getting it on Max.
Makes sense. Thunderbolts, although did not have the success that Superman had, is releasing this week on Disney Plus. So that's 3 months or over almost 4 months. So if you look at that timeline, Superman, we're looking at November at the earliest.
Most of the MCU films have released about 2 to 3 months after, the end of the box office. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Even more Martha. That's right. This Martha was fun, though. I thought she couldn't use her phone very well. Moving on to our next news story. This one excites me. Joshua.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Tillman has been cast in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm hearing that his role is being kept under wraps as a secret. However, I have heard that it looks like he may be a villain. Now, whoever he may be cast as, some people are saying Tombstone. Maybe that would be interesting. Prower, if I'm not mistaken, his name wrong. No, all right. And then, but my thought was, what if he's Miles Morales? And I know what you guys are gonna say. Well, he's too old. But then again, in this day and age, we can't judge based off of age. You can have a 30, 40-year-old male. Well,
there goes Josh for the episode. I love this actor. He was amazing in the Apple TV Severance. Sorry. He was amazing in Severance. Absolutely amazing. I love to see him in other things. I don't know who he could play. Sure, Prowler or Tombstone. What about
Prowler? Prowler is already Donald Glover.
We don't know that. But
he's shown up in 2 different movies.
We don't know that.
What do you mean you don't know that?
But
2 different movies.
We don't know that. But I mean, he's sinister enough to play Mr. Negative too, I would say. Like I could see him being
Mr. Negative needs to be Asian.
Doesn't have to be.
I say he does.
Oh my God, here we go.
I do agree Tombstone's an option. I actually think it's more likely that hear me out, Norman Osborn.
Oh, sure. I definitely that would be sinister. Absolutely, I could see him.
That is what I'm thinking. This is going to be a Norman Osborn. Now, whether we see him as Green Goblin or not, I think it's probably unlikely that if we do see him at all as Green Goblin, it would be in this movie. But that's just who I think it is.
Well, that would be amazing. Actually, that would be that's a good call right there, Josh. What do you think about Norman Osborn?
Well, honestly, I would be okay with it. I think he would be great, but we already kind of do have a Norman Osborn in the Spider-Man animated series.
Who could translate to live action as well.
But that's not, from what I understand, that Spider-Man series isn't actually canon to the MCU, or maybe it's multiverse, but whatever.
It's part of the multiverse, so there are aspects of it that intertwine.
I would say cast the actor from that show as, Norman, who's already playing. But that's just, like I said, it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure, set pictures might eventually leak. We'll find out. We'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. The show is already getting heated. We haven't even gotten to our guests yet, Andrew and Chris, who will bring another layer of spice, I would say. Moving on, we got Peacemaker news, right? No, we don't.
So, I wouldn't say news. Really, we're gonna just review the first episode. No spoilers. I watched this thing, man, and I loved it. I listen. I don't care what anybody says. John Cena was born to play Peacemaker, and he even said in an interview a few days ago it's his favorite role he's ever done. He's just so funny, and if you love season 1, you're gonna love season 2. Literally episode 1 of season 2 picks up where it left off, where you get to see kind of a different bit of a Peacemaker. He's more, I want to say, sincere, kind of, in a way. He's more serious. He wants to be taken serious, but this does a lot of good stuff in the first episode, raises a lot of questions. I already kind of know where Gunn's going to go. He teased a secret project, and that Peacemaker was going to help set it up. I think if you watch the first episode, you know what we're leading to.
Don't spoil it.
Obviously, I'm not going to spoil it. But yeah, it was great. Couple of nice cameos, some name drops on some things, guys. The DCU is in full effect. I can't wait to see what happens in the next few years. And so go out, check out, episode 1 and get peace this weekend. Technically,
the reveal of who's playing Batman was a huge surprise to me. I didn't realize they would have that in this episode.
My biggest take too was, and Joe's probably gonna kill me for this, but
probably.
When Peacemaker shows up towards the end of the episode and it cuts to Chris Evans and he spits out his coffee, what the shit? Because Peacemaker pulls out a Captain America shield to help fight Red Hulk against Sam.
He's taking the joke too far.
What is happening right now? I didn't do my homework. I didn't watch the show yet. I'll get to it.
Fine.
You were addicted to true crime documentaries.
You're obviously on a binger the way you're dressed tonight. It's okay. It is okay. We're here for you.
A binger.
All right. So, Joshua, let's get into the rumors. Oh, by the way, like and subscribe if you have not done so already. We have an amazing interview coming up right next after the news. Chris Killian and Andrew Sanders, co-writers of the Spawn Christmas series. It's a 2-issue series. I almost said special, but it's actually a special series. So, all right, Joshua.
Rumor going around is that Star-Lord will reportedly return to build a new team of unlikely heroes in the MCU's future. Okay. I do like Star-Lord. I don't know if he's going to be in Doomsday. I don't think he's actually in it. We'll see about Secret Wars, but it'll be interesting. I kind of wonder if they're going to do, I think it's called Time Force, if I'm not mistaken, where Star-Lord had a weird end team with like C-list, D-list characters that nobody heard of. So we'll see what happens. But more Star-Lord's always good for me in the MCU.
By the way, Derek, I love it. He hopes Naomi does this interview too. She was a disaster last week, for God's sakes. All right. This doesn't move the needle for me either way. Like, cool if he does, cool if he doesn't. If he does, I'd like to see some characters we haven't seen in the MCU yet. That's all I'm saying. Joe.
Yeah, I mean, end of Guardians of the Galaxy. First of all, Guardians of the Galaxy, we got Adam Warlock, who is a really cool character, and I hope they do continue and develop him. We also got that cameo appearance of Phyla-Vell. So I think that there's, definitely some hints that they are going to continue with, a cosmic team that'll probably be doing cosmic things off world and things like that. Star-Lord, I'm not a huge fan of the character. Nor am I a huge fan of Chris Pratt. But that's, if it works, it works. He worked very well with the Guardians crew. So if he's going to work well with, you know, a crew, whether they call it Guardians or something else, probably just a continued Guardians team. But, you know, sure, why not?
Sure, why not is how I'm approaching it as well. Joshua, moving on to the next rumor.
Yeah, so let's talk some family in the MCU. Joe Locke recently shared a selfie with Rudolph Malak.
We've had
Pronounced his
trouble with
name
that
right?
name every time we bring him up, but it's okay.
Yeah, he will be starring in Vision Quest. We have no idea who his character will be, but some rumors are suggesting that this will be our Billy and Tommy, and this is our first look at the twins. Don't look like twins to me, honestly. They look completely opposite, but MCU is known for doing some different things. Could that be the case? Maybe, or could they just be best friends hanging out? Who knows? We'll see what happens when Vision Quest comes out.
So this is going to be ridiculous, and I only know this because I have a kind of a fascination with Irish names and how they're spelled. That name is actually pronounced, despite there being a D, an H, a U, an A, an I, just a bunch of conjumbled letters. The name is pronounced Rory.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Now, is Josh going to say he's going to be the next Miles? I don't know. I'm expecting that coming from his mouth.
No. This is Tommy. I mean, listen. She could be the next Black Widow. We don't know. I mean,
we don't. But speaking of Black Widow, that's a great segue. Look what he did there. He is learning on the job, Joe. He is learning on the job.
Well, no, it's more like this. Speaking of the next news story, Joe's future wife, Florence. Yep. So, you know, see what I'm saying? I'm trying to sweeten the butter here for you, Joe. It's rumored that she will be appearing in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, a lot of actors, of actresses are rumored for this movie. We'll see what happens. Personally, I think she'll be a cameo at best if she does be in it. I don't think we'll expect anything too big. Some speculation is that she might show up early and she might try to recruit Peter to her new Avengers team due to the fact that everybody's in New York. So we'll have to see what happens.
Okay, that's well played. All right, now our last news story before our big interview.
Whoa. Let me talk about Yelena Belova here for a second.
By the way,
honestly,
I just saw her first appearance.
Chris's people are in my ear right now. Hey, you got to hurry this up. You got to.
Well, I'm trying to, but you're just talking instead of me talking.
You understand?
Oh my god!
He's an E-list.
Get that guy out of here. Yeah, I'm stoked about this. I think she rivals Iman Vellani's Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, as the best character that we've gotten in this new era of Marvel. You know, she's kind of like second just behind her to me. And not just because I'm in love with Florence Pugh, but also because I think the character is great and she does a great job portraying the character. For some reason, Florence Pugh has not responded to any of my Instagram messages or me adding her to Instagram group chats yet, but I'm thinking that someday she will, and when she does, we'll have her on the canon. Either way, I think this is great. It's a street level character that is kind of perfect for what seems to be going on with Brand New Day, also possibly tying in with Daredevil season 2. Got my fingers crossed because there's in the comics, a lot of Daredevil team ups with a Black Widow, not always Yelena, but Jeff, we'll let you have your chance back in here again.
Here's the deal. I heard from a friend who heard from a friend that she does have a crush on you.
Oh, cool. Good to know.
Mm-hmm. All right. And finally, before we get to the most coveted interview of the year, Chris Killian and Andrew Sanders, co-writers of the Swan Christmas Special series, our last news story. This is sad.
Yeah, well, I said this earlier to Joe, and he didn't believe me. So here we go. Apparently, Zoe may not reportedly return for the Batman Part 2. She is actually doing a new movie that just came out, and the press were told not to ask her about Batman Part 2 because her agent told them she is not involved in it. She hasn't received the script. Now, this is the way I see it. Technically, at the end of the Batman, she did ride off. She was going her own way. But we did get mention of her in the Penguin show with her sister. So I think she might have a cameo at best and probably will return fully for Batman Part 3, because, it hasn't been confirmed yet whether she'll be in Part 2. Either way, I don't think it's that big of a deal if she's not in there. I think Batman Part 2 is going to have a lot of new players and cast as it is, so you're not going to have much time to focus on the Bruce-Selina relationship or anything like that. So, yeah, let's see what happens.
I heard they're both in Spider-Man Brand New Day as well, though.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson is playing MJ, and Zoe Kravitz is playing the Vulture.
I thought they were playing Batman and Catwoman. Anyways, Joshua, well done. Joe, seriously?
Well, no, hold on. Wait a minute. There was another story that we were supposed to run tonight. Joe decided to shut me down.
Oh, here we go.
And I'm just going to say it was a story about Chris Evans. That's all I'm going to say, because Joe, I think...
Pulling you out.
I think Joe, Jeff, if I'm not mistaken, I think his agent actually reached out, and we might be looking at a lawsuit due to the fact that Joe pretty much called Chris Evans a liar publicly, and so we're going to have to deal with the fallout of that. I'm sure our new CEO won't be happy, so we're going to have to see what happens long term, but it's going to be shaky and rocky here for the next couple of months on Comic Book Canon.
Just delivers the news and rumors.
That's right. A lot of litigation going on here at the Canon. A lot of litigation. Luckily, we have some good lawyers on our side. But Joshua, well done as always. We are going to bring you back in later in the show. Everybody like and subscribe if you have not done so already. We are the most popular live show of all time ever.
Number one.
Even more popular with Joe's new look, I have to say. All right, Joe, very excited for this right now. We have some wonderful guests with us tonight. Chris Killian, I've known for years, wonderful human being. I hate to say that. And also, supposedly, Elijah Wood's best friend. That's what it said on the thumbnail for the Canon, episode 237, and we do not lie. Also, his brother on tonight as well, Andrew Sanders. So Chris Killian works for comicbook.com. He gets to hobnob with all the celebrities and all that stuff. And his brother, Andrew Sanders, is a writer, and he lives in North Dakota. So they live different lives. But I want to bring them both in right now. Christopher Killian, Andrew Sanders. How are you, fellas?
What's going on, Jeff? How are you, man? What an introduction.
Doing great. Like, honestly, you've been on the show, 18,000 times at this point? I mean,
It's the only show that I've ever been on, and immediately afterwards I lose followers. So
we have an effect like that, but it's one of those things you lose to gain more. You know what I mean? Like, it's
like the stock market.
Exactly. Right. And we're a declining stock that will rise like a phoenix, but we're not here to talk about the phoenix at all. We're here to talk about your relationship with Spawn. And before we get to that, Andrew, this is your opportunity to embarrass the shit out of Chris Killian. Go for it.
I couldn't think of any stories. The only one I thought of was when he was like a freshman in high school. Austin Powers came out and he dressed up like Austin Powers and went to school. But it was more embarrassing for me because he found me and was like, "Everyone, this is my brother," and all like 200-300 kids were just crowding around him in love. Like,
so it was a hit.
Yeah, they loved it. This is who he is. Like he pulls everything off that he tries. It's annoying.
That must be. Wait, you're the younger brother too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
That was a good day. What a great day that was. I like scotch taped rabbit fur to my chest for the chest hair.
Do me a favor right now. Give us your best Austin Powers impression, please. Just
thank you, horny baby. Do it.
So well done. He's great at it. Andrew, how could you be embarrassed by that? You should have been mini me because it would apply. You're like the younger brother, but you're probably taller than him, though.
No, I'm not. No. It's why I moved to North Dakota, though. It was to get away.
Hold on. Hold on. Somebody has to jump in here. Our director, Susan.
I just need to jump in here. I have such a huge crush on Chris Killian. Please tell me he's not married.
You're about to break a heart, Chris. I mean, let's talk about your relationship.
What is that?
That's our director, Susan. Why are you laughing at Susan?
Oh my God!
What's
Well,
that?
Susan,
Susan's coming back in.
Oh, well, he's probably too short for me anyways.
Ouch.
It's true.
See, Susan is 6'5", so
I don't know.
All right.
I've always
Enough
had a thing for
shenanigans.
the taller ladies, though.
Enough shenanigans here. We're talking Spawn,
All right.
and this is actually a very cool project, probably the coolest project that I've known you to be a part of. And Andrew, you being a writer as well, I'm sure you're super excited about this whole thing. So we need to just jump in and get to it. It's, by the way, it is. Damn it! I did not put the link down in the description. I will put the link while Chris is giving an answer on where you could pre-order this special issue. That's right, because it is very special. And I'm going to show you cover A here. If you guys want to just talk a little bit about cover A before we get into the actual interview. So let's take it away. Look at that. Santa with some ears and some eyeballs and a drink.
Dude, yeah, it's great. Andrew, talk about it. What do you think?
Oh, the cover is fantastic. I can't wait. And we've got so much more in store for the more issues that come along. But I don't know. We're really excited to show even more than the cover. I wish we could do that now. It's been annoying sitting on it.
We do have one image we're hopefully allowed to show that Chris gave us.
Yeah, if he gave it to you, go for it.
So this was shown. This was on Todd's slideshow at San Diego Comic-Con. So I think that it's I think it's okay for us to show it. Hopefully it is. But this is a double splash page early on in the book that Sam and Twitch walk into basically, and it was drawn by the fabulous Thomas Knocklick, who is just, I mean, he's doing some of the most amazing work I've ever seen on this book. I mean, it's incredible. I can't wait for people to check it out.
This is pretty sadistic looking, but okay. So we've shown a little pieces here at cover A as well as a splash page, which obviously will be colored. But let's get into the nitty gritty here. I'm going to ask you the hard questions. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Spawn at Christmas. It's not the first match. It's not the first matchup most fans would think about. Where did you spark the idea for I Saw Santa come from, and when did you? I'm sorry. Mess it up. Actually, yeah. Where did the story come from?
So, I mean, honestly, this kind of came from Andrew and I just kind of brainstorming a little bit. I mean, this is a long time in the works. You know, I've interviewed Todd, you know, over and over and over again. I spent some time in Arizona with him, and basically, at one point, I don't know what made me do this. I've always wanted to write. You know, I've got an English degree. Me and Andrew have, you know, written screenplays together before and stuff like that. And I just kind of asked Todd on a whim, like, hey, you know, what would happen if I wanted to pitch something to you? And he was like, just pitch it. And I was like, okay, cool. And say less. And so I wrote out a little treatment and I sent it to him, and I didn't think I'd ever hear anything back. And then he actually did come back, and he said he liked my writing and he wanted to do something. And about the same time, Andrew had this. He was working on like kind of like a what was it, Andrew? It was like a holiday screenplay contest, right?
Yeah, I'm on the Reddit screenplay challenge, and that was my prompts was a holiday slasher, but the killer couldn't be Santa Claus. So I came up with like 30 ideas for a screenplay, and I read them all to Chris, and he kind of like picked them apart and mashed them together, and that's how we kind of came up with this.
Yeah, I remember, because Andrew's first idea was like, what if Santa Claus was in a haunted house? And then I was like, well, you know, what if I don't want to give anything else away now. I feel like I'm already giving too much away. But basically, I was just like, you know, what if there's a serial killer who hates Santa Claus and he leaves a murdered family for him? And then after talking it back and forth, I mean, we kind of decided that we kind of figured out a story that we thought would work really well in the Spawn universe. And I took it to Todd. And it's funny enough, I was at New York Comic-Con with Todd, and I was like, hey, does Spawn exist or does Santa Claus exist in the Spawn universe? And he was like, I I don't know, Chris. I guess he could. And I was like, so I pitched him the story, and he goes, I gotta be honest, Chris. When you mentioned Santa Claus, I thought it was gonna be really cheesy, but that's actually pretty badass. So and off to the races we are, man. So Andrew and I wrote it together, and it's awesome. I can't wait for people to see it.
I want to take a step back. But first, I want to. Is that an accurate impression of Todd in your opinion?
Literally sounds like Todd McFarlane to me.
If you closed your eyes, it was Todd.
For sure. But let's take a step back. Can you just go over elevator pitch premise of what the book is about?
Okay, at its simplest form, I would say that I Saw Santa. It is in the Spawn universe, and it is about a serial killer who blames Santa Claus for his tragic childhood. So now he leaves a murdered family every Christmas Eve for Santa to find.
Oh,
yeah, piques everybody's interest here. Okay,
wait, that's really cool.
So obviously, the premise is crazy. With the kids swearing, all the coal and all that stuff that he was getting. How did you two balance like the absurd holiday cheer with the like horror noir tone of the Spawn universe and Sam and Twitch?
I actually think that people are going to be really surprised with how dark this gets. I mean, I think we take it fairly seriously.
Can I pause for a second?
Yeah, for sure.
We're not going to be surprised anymore from this damn splash page. Let's be honest. Like that's dark.
It's yeah, you're right. It's very dark, and it's not. So believe it or not, it's not the worst one. I don't want to say who this is, but the first colorist that it got pitched to passed on it because it was too violent for them.
Oh my God.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we had to find another colorist because they were just like, it's too far. And so it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be intense.
Oh, look at this. Paul Bond trying to get in your good graces. Makes sense. This is why Chris slays every time he's on the canon. You have a fan.
Oh, he should have wrote it though, like Santa slays.
Oh, so you're critiquing your compliment. Okay.
Opportunity.
Okay. No, it's again, you got a ton of horror fans here. I'm going to, this guy right over here is definitely a big horror fan. So I guarantee you it's right up his alley. Especially when you first told me about this, I was like, oh, Joe's on board with this thing right here.
Oh yeah.
I love nothing more than family annihilators, let me tell you.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. That's why he's dressed like this.
I was going to say, I appreciate Joe taking a break from robbing a convenience store to be here tonight.
That was well done. All right. So Todd McFarlane has obviously seen it all when it comes to Spawn. You touched on this a little bit, but I'd like to kind of elaborate a little bit more to where he was really signed off on it. But how did you go about pitching it as this Christmas horror story? I know you said he thought it'd be cheesy. That was his initial reaction, but like, again, how did you kind of all get in there and really, Andrew, I don't know if you're part of the pitch process or what, but just let us know how that all evolved.
Yeah, Andrew. So as soon as Todd was like, basically like, I like the idea. Andrew and I called him, I think that night and was like, let's do it. And and Andrew had already written like a kind of a rough idea out of some stuff. And then I think we took it and we tossed it back and forth to each other, like, God, 4 or 5 times. It's been a lot, but we really just powwowed down on it and wrote a very elaborate plot. And it's so hard to talk about because we have some fairly big ideas that, it's going a lot of places. And so I don't want to give too much away, but we, I would say, what would you say, Andrew? Maybe like 2 weeks later, we had like a full treatment that we sent to Todd.
It probably wasn't that long at all. Like,
maybe 2 days.
Probably sat on it another week because you were too nervous to send it off.
Oh, shots fired! Love it. Sibling rivalry. Let's get it going. Actually,
no, like he handled all of the connections. I just helped write it.
Oh, you were too scared, Andrew. Oh, I thought you were calling Chris out being too scared.
No, he was nervous too. We were both nervous.
But it's fantastic because I'll be honest, like Chris, you
know what you're talking about, Andrew. Andrew's got the biggest cojones I've ever seen in my life. We're brothers, by the way. I don't know if anybody knows that.
Yeah, you've seen them then, right?
We grew up together. We took baths together when we were younger.
Information that was not part of the interview.
Andrew, why are you covering your forehead like you're so embarrassed?
I am actually, because that was my next question. Now you've just answered it. How big were Andrew's balls?
We're derailed. We're derailed.
Yeah, this thing is this. Yeah, we're absolutely. So you got a lot to balance in here. Maybe Andrew, you could take this on. You have a lot to balance in here with Sam and Twitch, Santa, Spawn, this freaking crazed kid that wants to get revenge on Santa Claus. How did you go about balancing all the way through this story? I know it's a 2-issue story, but that doesn't leave a lot of room in terms of being able to balance the story, let alone these big names, Sam, Twitch, and Spawn, let alone Santa Claus,
Yeah, no, we had to definitely lose a lot of ideas that we had, or compact them down as much as possible to get them even in. Like, it's 2 double issues, but even that's just such a limited space for the story that we wanted to tell. But I think we did it well, and we kept it interesting. And like, I don't know, Sam and Twitch take up quite a bit of the first part of it, and I think Spawn people really enjoy that. Oh, I don't even know how much I can say about it.
Yeah, it's 2 double issues. So I collectively, I think it's gonna be 90 pages. And yeah, I would say that the big thing is that, like, this is like and Andrew would agree with this, but this is really like a love letter to Spawn fans. I mean, there's a lot of Spawn Easter eggs that are thrown in here. It connects to past lore and things like that. So there's a lot of fun stuff for Spawn fans.
So, like, speaking of past lore, was there a specific issue that you were able to tie into, or I don't know if you're allowed to say anything like this, but how does it kind of live within the Spawn universe? Are Spawn fans gonna be like, oh snap, that's an awesome callback right there?
I think so. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, very, very much so. And there's some like small Easter eggs too that, like, you kind of have to really, like, I think that only like the most hardcore of Spawn fans are gonna get. But Andrew and I really did a deep dive on going back and reading Spawn when we were putting this together, for sure. Like, I feel like I even know all of Sam and Twitch's kids' names. Like, that's how much research we did. Where even Todd, I told Todd that, and he was like, "Can you send me that list? I don't even remember their name."
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so you've gone into it deep. All right, so with that said, I know Christmas is 4 months away.
Yep.
And considering the deep research that you did do, or actually just rereading some of the issues from the past of your youth or what have you, what series would you put in a stocking for a loved one? Like, what is your favorite arc, I mean, it could be like spin-off series, what have you. Like, it has to be a complete set. What would you give out to your loved one? Not your wife, maybe your big bald brother.
Man, that's a tough question. Like Spawn, or just in general?
In the Spawn universe.
In the Spawn universe, what arc? Man, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, but like, my heart says that, like, those early, like the earliest Todd issues for me. Like, I mean, I read those books. I mean, those first like 20 issues or so. I don't, Violators ripping hearts out and everything. I mean, those, I read those as a kid, like over and over and over and over again. And so, like, there's a lot of great stuff that came afterwards, but that early Spawn stuff just speaks to me.
I got to say the same for me, because that's what left the impression. It was like this brand new character with all this hype that, for a kid, for me, it lived up to the hype. It's a fresh experience. You're diving into a brand new universe. So I like that. Andrew, I'm not sure if you have an answer for that question.
Oh, it's going to be I Saw Santa.
Well played, Andrew. Well played. If you guys have questions for Andrew and Chris, please get them in right now. Again, Chris's people are in my ear. Susan's getting pissed too because she was rebuffed. But Derek Neiman, 10 gift ideas for the big bald brother who has everything. That could be a good article you could write there.
That's a Huffington Post article.
That is cute. I think Josh had a question. Actually, Josh, you did have a question in the chat. I'm going to bring him in. Actually, let's just bring everybody in. Let's bring Naomi in because she's been patient right there.
Oh, hey, Naomi. I don't think I've met you before.
She's the rookie, and she's on mute too.
She blew it pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we don't talk about what I blow, who I blow. We're just gonna leave it in the past, okay? Like, it happened. I'm sorry.
And this again, it derails even further. We love it though. I think Tisha's like this isn't rated PG
Chris.
anymore. I'm like, hell no. No, where have you been? Josh, you had a question though for Andrew and Chris, and I hope it's not about anybody's balls.
I hope it is.
Not yet, at least.
Well, look, now it's going to be at least something to do with Big Bald Brother. You know, I mean, come on. So, listen, guys, is this going to be a family-friendly comic that you can give to your loved ones this holiday season?
I would say yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Based on the images we've released already, I think that you should give it to everyone in your family. No age limits. The smallest of children to the oldest of grandparents, they'll love it, and everybody in between.
All inclusive. That's well played there.
Yeah.
You know, that's very nice of you as well, especially for Christmas.
Perfect gift for anyone that has a poster of Timothy McVeigh on their bedroom wall.
And then my follow-up question, if I have a little bald brother, such as Joe, would it be a perfect gift to give him for the holiday season?
It'll help them grow.
It'll help him grow a pair of balls.
Well, hair, actually, too. It's, I Saw Santa is surprisingly, they're doing scientific research on it right now that proves that it does grow hair once you read it. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
That's lab.
I
Joe
can't
drank
wait.
a little bit.
When does it come out? Did we have a
Did
date?
not cover that. Good question.
The first issue is November 26th. So final order cutoff is November 3rd. So call your comic shops, get a pre-order. That'd be fantastic. That'd help us out a lot and make Todd, want to hire us again to write other things. So, because at the end of the day, it's all business, right?
It is all business, and I'm putting that in the chat. Everybody, pay attention.
Business.
Write it down.
Guys.
Click the link and make sure you pre-order this for sure. I think this is going to be a hit. I really do. The way knowing you and Andrew, knowing how big your balls are too. I just learned that on this episode.
He's sitting on them right now like a beanbag.
I don't know. Must be uncomfortable. But seriously, this really sounds like a very cool story, and I think it's going to be successful for you guys. And when it is successful, can you guys please come back and talk about your success and how fame has changed you, and also bring like one of those special variants that one of our fine guests would like to win?
Oh no, I won't be back once I'm a huge success.
Yeah.
I'll come back.
This is how I see this going. Basically, you guys are gonna put this out. It's going to be the biggest Spawn miniseries hit in forever. Bigger than the Spawn Batman reboot from 2 years ago.
Wow. Okay, now I know you're just lying to me, but thank you. It's not.
And because of that,
book canon variant is not a bad idea. Make that happen, Chris, because we're in a ton of litigation with a ton of issues. But we do have a question from Derek. How many times did Todd say "bud" during the first pitch?
Well, I was pitching to him, so I don't think any. But
I mean, the replies could be like, "Hey, bud, this is cool." Right?
Is that a thing that Todd says? Because I've interviewed him so many times, and he calls me by my name. So I don't know. I guess I have a different relationship with Todd. Not to brag, but
wow.
Yeah, you may as well just name drop. By the way, speaking of cool stories, Chris talked about this the last time he was on, and maybe you guys remember, maybe you don't, or maybe you haven't even heard of it. But Chris was the first person after 3 Venom movies to introduce Todd to Tom Hardy.
Right? Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
So tell that story real quick for all.
God, that was insane. That I was just talking to Todd about that, and I told him that I had an interview with Tom Hardy for Venom 3, and he was basically like said he never met him, and I was like, how can this be possible? I don't understand.
Right.
So I called the people at Sony, and I was like, Todd's going to be at New York Comic-Con. This is happening at New York Comic-Con. So I was like, is there any way possible that I can bring Todd McFarlane in? And that you would not believe the amount of back and forth that this took to get this to happen. And it got a no at first too. And I was like, this guy created Venom. Or co-created Venom. What are you talking about? And we finally at the last minute got him to do it. And awesome. It's the coolest thing that I have a picture with, Tom Hardy and Todd McFarlane together. That's the craziest thing in the world. So
no,
yeah.
Chris, hold on. Did they give a reason why they said no at the beginning?
That's just the movie business is.
Press junkets is like this. Boom,
Yeah,
boom, boom.
yeah,
in and
yeah.
out.
They're
Get these outlets in and out. Boom.
Yeah, it's hard getting things approved for because there's just a lot of red tape to go through and a lot of people that it's got to go through, and everybody's nervous, and they don't want to be the one that messes up. So it's just hard to get those things kind of passed. But
do you know Paul Bond, who did give you the compliment, and then you basically kicked him in the balls?
Oh no!
The deadline to order Final Cut Off. He still wants to support you. That's very kind.
I think it's November 3rd. Is it November 3rd, Andrew, or is it November 5th
or 6th?
According to New Comics, it's November 5th, though.
Oh, okay. Well, November 3rd is my mom's
birthday. The link's down below. Go buy it right now, Paul.
I'm going to post it in here again. Everybody go to that site now and support our friends here. Andrew, just please tell us your feelings on Chris. Like, get sentimental, make him cry. Go.
Don't do that.
Oh, I'm not gonna make him cry. He's heard it all before. Oh no, he's my favorite. He's my brother, and I love him, and he's been there for me my entire life, and everyone can hear this now. So I love you, Chris, and it's been fun riding with you.
It's been really fun riding with you. I can't wait to keep riding with you. Why did everybody disappear? It's like, are we here by ourselves now? Like, are we gonna just bromance?
Yeah,
I think that we should. I think everybody would love that. I love you too.
Well, thanks.
How's your first podcast experience been?
Very, very weird and very nervous.
Yeah, this is a weird one, right? I told you.
Yeah,
I told you beforehand. I was like, they're going to hold you backstage for 40 minutes while they discuss the news and not bring you on. Yeah. And then afterwards, Jeff's just going to make fun of your balls the whole time.
Yo, guys.
Oh, are they still here?
Freaking kiss already. Come on.
I needed to make it as awkward as possible for you guys. Seriously, thank you so much for joining the canon. We truly appreciate you. No bullshit aside. Chris, you're one of my favorite people. And I hate saying that to you because I just
likewise, man,
kicking you down. And Andrew, I want to meet you because I just want to see what kind of jeans you wear with those big balls.
Oh, I don't.
Wrangler.
They're jorts.
The jorts. Oh, that the short jorts?
No, they've got to be long jorts. They're ankle length.
They better be though.
Yeah.
Short jorts, things are going to be. Anyways, here we go. Josh has a question, another question. The insider can't let it go.
Obviously, I have some inside knowledge. I knew that you guys couldn't ask about Batman Part 2, for Catwoman. But I gotta know, man, who do you think is going to be the villain for Part 2? I'm sure you got some inside sources going on.
Oh man, I mean, I don't have any insights at all that I could share. No, I really don't know anything. I mean, my guess based on the previous movie is, I think they're going to do kind of a version of No Man's Land, and I think we're going to see a few people in there, but maybe Hush, maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
Hush would be very interesting.
You were supposed to turn around and look at your wall real quick and look back at me, Chris.
Is it Bane? You think it's going to be Bane? I don't think it's going to be Bane.
I'm just saying we haven't gotten a good live action
Tom
Bane
Hardy.
yet.
Ask him.
You haven't got what?
We haven't gotten a good live action Bane yet.
How the hell can you say that with a straight face?
Because
Tom Hardy was good. That movie's
Tom Hardy, I love Tom, but he's not comic accurate.
No, he might not be comic accurate. I'm not saying that he's comic accurate. I'm sure the next Bane probably won't be comic accurate either.
Be Mexican.
That's true. What?
Do you think I could do it?
Not
you
really.
Yes, you can be.
Actually, he does have a daughter. Bane does have a daughter.
Vengeance. Yes.
Big beef, burning bridges. Say that fast 5 times.
I gotta say though, I do think that Tom Hardy, like following Heath Ledger, was no small feat, and being able to do something that was like very interesting that people still mimic, like over 10 years later. Tom Hardy did it.
Strawberries are packed with fiber.
Exactly. See, so it wasn't bad.
All right. Well, you know what wasn't bad was this interview. Again, we truly appreciate you both coming on. Andrew, Chris, really wish you the absolute best. Everybody, pre-order when you can. I'm not sure if it's. Oh no, it is on pre-order.
It's up for solicits now. So it's going to be big. And I think Andrew and I are equally very nervous about it because it's our first book. We love Spawn. We love Todd, and we're huge fans, and so this is a huge opportunity for us. and we're very excited for people to read it because I mean we worked really hard on it. Thomas Knocklick, the artist, is just knocking it out of the park, just like some of the coolest stuff he's ever done. So
that splash page looks incredible. Like,
yeah, it does.
You sent it to me, and I'm like, ugh. That was my literal reaction. It was, ugh. Anyways, wishing.
I've actually heard that reaction from you several times for different reasons.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about those reasons. Alcohol was involved. But before we let you go, I have a question. Do you know how many Hawk Girls there have been
in the whole world ever?
In the DC universe, the comic books.
I don't know. I don't know ever. No. How many?
This is just. Anyways, we have a segment we call "Did You Know?" and you just kind of burst the bubble here, and it's not.
Oh, I don't normally watch the podcast. I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
We are the most popular guys. We wish you the best. Have a good one. We have a show to do.
Thanks for being.
Did you know Hawkgirl has many origins? Before Kendra Saunders picked up the mantle of Hawkgirl, the name had already passed through many lives. There was Shara Sanders, the Golden Age heroine tied to Hawkman through endless reincarnation, and Shayera Hull, the Silver Age Thanagarian warrior. But in 1999, DC introduced something new, Kendra Saunders. Unlike the Hawkgirls before her, Kendra's story began in tragedy. After attempting to take her own life, her body was possessed by the soul of her ancestor, Shayera. Kendra lived on. However, she was haunted by memories that weren't fully her own. She was a reluctant hero, carrying the weight of reincarnation, but also trying to forge her own identity. And that's what made Kendra stand out. She wasn't just a reincarnated lover or Hawkman's partner. She was Hawkgirl on her own terms. So what do you think? Does Kendra Saunders' Hawkgirl honor the past or rewrite it completely? Let us know in the comments. And if you didn't know, now you do.
So that was the featured Hawkgirl in the Superman film. And Chris has something to clarify here because he does know comics, but...
I thought you said hot girls. I was so confused. I was like, what are you talking about? In the DC, there's several. I don't know. But
all right, this
anyways,
is a comic book channel, so there's no hot girls here.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect comic book canon answer, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
You fit right in here.
We're going to see you a bit later. Actually, down the road. Again, good luck to you and Andrew. We are
Thank you guys for your time. I really do appreciate it.
Well done. Good work, you guys. Good work.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
All right, so here we are, the Cannon crew. We're missing one, actually, Josh, and we may as well just do the Ask Joe and the Cannon crew. So get your questions in right now.
That's not the right.
Ask Joe, ask Joe. Ask Joe. Whoa! And Jeff.
You know, I make one mistake, but I do everything else right, and this is what I get.
It actually sounds like Joe sings that song. I legitimately, the first time I watched this, I was like, "Is that Joe singing it?" It sounds like him.
It's not nasally or gravelly enough for it to be.
Annoying enough.
What's your karaoke song? Is it Mama Said Knock You Out?
I've done Mama Said Knock You Out. I've done
Limp Bizkit.
A bunch of Beastie Boys songs. I did do a Limp Bizkit song recently, Break Stuff. I've done the occasional Run DMC, Tricky. Also Metallica, always a good one. Sometimes when it's like a more alternative one, I'll do something like Slipknot or Slayer.
Great. That was just something to pass the time to get a question. Everybody get your questions in because finally we have one. It seems like a legitimate question. I don't know. Ask Naomi, with your extraordinary talent, how is it possible you're still on the show? Do Joe, Jeff, Josh have something on you? Good question.
No, but I do have a lot of charity work from that one thing I did. So they're writing the hours down for me.
You know, and actually you were late today. So those hours cut in half. Sorry.
We just forget what happened on last week's episode.
I know. I don't care anymore.
I'm emotionally scarred from last week's episode.
If you could restart the MCU, what characters would you select and ignore all licensing issues? If you could restart the MCU, holy cow! We're gonna go with Josh first.
How many you want me to pick? This like 5?
Just answer the question.
And
make sure it doesn't last till 10 o'clock.
What was the original? Was Hawkeye, Black Widow, Thor, Iron Man, and Cap. So yeah, and Hulk. So 6.
I'm gonna go with that. MC is not really my bag. Now you come to DC, I'll talk to you a little bit.
All right, let's go, Dan. He's always more methodical with these questions.
I know who Dan's picking. Already.
Joe, quiet. Before we get to the Defenders, yes, Joe, that's who it is.
Yep.
I would start with a couple of obscure characters, like Cobalt Man from X-Men 31, or Sirius Black from Defenders 6 as villains. But yes, the original Defenders: Doctor Strange, Submariner, Silver Surfer, Valkyrie, and the Hulk. They have yet to do them justice, and this is a perfect time to restart with a fresh slate.
So your foundation of the MCU would be the Defenders.
Yes, and I'd be by myself. I know it, but hey, I'd be on the island happy.
Okay, Naomi, who do you got?
I don't know. I just would like to see a Poison Ivy Harley Quinn movie.
But that's DCU.
That's not at all what
I
we
know
have.
it is. I know it is.
It's not fair.
I honestly, I'm kind of on the same boat with Josh. I will take it as is. I don't really have much of a.
You're just along for the ride. You need to.
When it comes to Marvel, I really am.
You need to be an active participant, and I'm very disappointed.
I really love the X-Men, so I mean that would have been cool to see.
That right there's a great answer, by the way.
Yeah, we're gonna get the restart in a couple of years anyway. Who cares about this question?
Oh my god.
Move on to the next.
Joseph.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with I'm gonna put together an Avengers team here. One of my favorite characters that crossed over to the Avengers from another team is Beast from the X-Men, Hank McCoy. I'm gonna start off with him, and I want him in kind of a more of a leadership role. Really, really smart guy, very practical. So he would kind of be the Tony Stark essentially of this new universe. I'm gonna go with Black Panther. I think Black Panther is a phenomenal character, and we got a little. What? Why is everyone making faces? When
I'm making a face at Jeff. Jeff was like, oh.
Yeah, Jeff's got the perplexed face.
The Beast carrying the MCU like Tony Stark did. That's just ridiculous. But go ahead.
No, it's not. You're
ridiculous. It is. It's dumb. Your opinions are dumb.
He was like a main dude in the show, in the 97 show.
Yes, he's great. Anyway, as I'm going to finish, I need 4 more characters. We have to have a spider character on the team, obviously. So I'm going to pick one of my favorites, and that is Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider. We're going to put him on this team as, a spider character. We're going to go, we need something with a little bit more power here, something a little bit, stronger, so I'm going to go with Carol Danvers. We get some cosmic powers here. We get a little bit of OP, but like OP-ness. Wow, that did not come out right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm scooting a little bit further away from you on that.
I might as well finish this. Then we got. I got 2 more characters left. Let's go with Hulk. I think Hulk's just a great character. He's been on many teams and teamed up with many people, and like his unpredictability and really like brute force bull in a china shop kind of thing definitely adds a lot to it, and that's definitely evident in what we've seen in the MCU so far. And with 1 more character left, I think I'm going to go with another mutant, one of my favorite mutants, and just a great character development character, and that's going to be Kitty Pryde.
Okay, I love Paul's. Miss, what's going on here? Is Joe naming the worst Marvel character?
Whoa! Hulk, Black Panther, Beast.
He only fits in the Defenders.
I don't have an answer for this. I'm just along for the ride. Next up, ask Joe, Jeff, actually the Canon crew. First alien black suit, Amazing Spider-Man 252 or Marvel Team Up 141. I'm going to say 252 because that's like the big introduction. Now, I don't know which one came out a week before the other, but for me, it's 252. Please.
So, realistically, and Mint Hunter Comics, James, my good buddy, I was just at his house over the weekend. He has a great YouTube video explaining the actual dates that these books, he did a lot of research, found out what dates the books actually hit the shelf. ASM 252 hit the shelf first by itself The following week, Marvel Team Up 141 came out, as well as Spectacular Spider-Man number 90. So those were the second, tied for the second appearance. And then several months later was Secret Wars 8, which, while it has that great cover, is not an early appearance, but it does tell the origin of the black suit and explains, that's the first time they explain that it's an alien symbiote. So those are definitely the 4 books that you look for. The first, the two tied for seconds, and the origin and explanation of the suit. But that is the timeline that they came out.
Does anybody else have an opinion on this? But those are like straight up facts. So it's literally 252.
I agree with Joe's timeline, but at the time when it came out, I wished that Secret Wars 8 would have come out first. It would have made more sense than having to sort of backtrack, as opposed to, when 252 shows up, here's the black suit, then they have to retroactively sort of explain it. It could have been Marvel's. They were famous for having their comics late and all that. Who knows what happened, but that's what I wish would have happened, but it didn't.
Well,
yeah, I think it also, I think they try to brew some mystery with it. They kind of be like, okay, what is this thing? Why is Pete acting all weird? Why is he a goth now? Has he been listening to The Cure? I don't know. Let's find out. And then they're like, nope, just alien goo.
Of course, you always go back to the alien goo and big bald younger brother. I think. Anybody else want to chime in? If not, we're gonna go.
I've got a live question when you get time, Jeff.
All right, after this, you're gonna do the live question. This is a loaded question. This is gonna be fun. DC or Marvel, which is better? We are gonna
DC.
Oh,
DC.
Here comes the
Marvel.
DC.
All right,
Marvel.
Go ahead, real quick. Naomi, you start.
I've always been a DC girly, so I will.
I knew this was going to happen. Josh.
DC, 100%, no doubt about it.
High five.
Dan.
I love them both, but I'm
Other way.
leaning
You're
Marvel.
on the wrong side. Both of you are on the wrong side. There we go. Oh, God.
All right, so leaning Marvel, you have to make a choice. It's either or, Dan.
Marvel.
Joe.
There's a reason why we're on top and these two are on the bottom. Marvel.
I'm a power bottom, so suck it.
We are really flirting with that R rating. We really are.
Make mine
Wow.
Marvel.
You're gonna make Josh nervous.
Look, I'm glad I'm on the bottom because I'm pretty heavy. So if I was on top, you guys may not be breathing too much.
Okay. Honestly, I don't want to ever be in a position like that with you, ever.
Yeah.
No offense,
Well,
but
we're gonna have to talk, Jeff,
It's getting
because you might be
disturbing
moving
now.
in with Joe.
All right, Dan, please ask your question.
Okay, Joe, I preface this. I forwarded a video of a friend of his, and that was John from
Jim.
Jim from Brownsville Comics, and he did a PSA unboxing. He said he wanted to find out what this is all about. He submitted several books, and he brought them back, and he posted this past week. And what he opened was unbelievably surprising. Not just flaws in the grading, all the rest of it. The labels were off. Either they condensed the labels, but the worst was that they misidentified the first appearance of Spider-Woman. They called it Spider-Woman number 1. This is the Jessica Drew Spider-Woman. We all know that was Marvel Spotlight 32, which I have, and a whole variety of things. And this was shocking to me because if PSA is challenging CGC openly, and they are, this is a horrible way to begin.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of sort of revisits the question, who are the people that are grading? What expertise do they have? What knowledge do they have of comics? These are not just mistakes. These are blunders. These are absolute blunders. So I wanted to get Joe, you're a friend of his, and you've seen the video. What's your take on what he unboxed?
Yeah, I mean, he called me as soon as he got the box and was just like, yo, what? Listen to this. One of the craziest things is, and this is in his thumbnail, it's X-Men 11 from 1992, the last Jim Lee X-Men in that run, and Superman number 1, the 1987 Superman number 1, the reboot post Crisis. And his caption, I think, is something like, PSA doesn't know who drew these books, because it literally says artist
It's on the
unknown.
book.
when
Yeah,
it's
I had it here,
Jim
too.
Lee and John Byrne. Like it's two huge names, very much known for those runs. It's honestly, it's embarrassing for PSA that they were ill prepared. That's the only thing I can think, that they didn't have everything in there, everything set in stone. It hadn't been checked over, and they were ill prepared. I don't know. I don't think it's the graders' fault that those things were off, because it's probably just saved in their system. But like, come on, those books should have writers. Now, as far as the grading goes, the grading seems pretty similar to CGC. I've heard people say, oh, I cracked this from a CGC slab and it got the same grade, or it got a half a point higher, half a point lower. And I think Jim's were all within one deviation of where he thought they were going to be. He thought it was a 9.6, it got a 9.4, or he thought it was a 9.4, it got a 9.6. I'm pretty sure all of his were pretty close. But yeah, come on, you got to get the labels right. It's not going to put a good taste in people's mouths when their first submission comes back with not only unknown creators of books that most entry-level comic book collectors are going to know who drew X-Men number 11 off the top of their head. And the fact that, something was misrepresented, like first appearance of Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman, because that's not even her second appearance. That's her fourth appearance, I believe.
I think that's right. Yes.
She had three. She had two in Marvel Team Up after her first appearance in Spotlight.
Well, with respect to, I would say you're being a little generous with it by saying it's ill-prepared. I mean, this is clumsy. It's just stupid. Again, when you're presenting for the first time, trying to challenge a major company like CGC, you got to get it right.
Oh, yeah.
You just do. It didn't take that hard. It wouldn't be that difficult to look up what is what. And if Jim's unboxing is any indication, they have just almost destroyed themselves before they've begun.
Yeah,
I would like to. Go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say it. The reason I said ill prepared specifically was if they had checked over, if they had kind of proofread, their notes and stuff like that, maybe they would have caught that and fixed it. But clearly, something happened and that didn't happen. But Josh, go ahead.
I watched your video this morning. I also want to say that a lot of the CBCS workers actually jumped ship and are actually working at PSA now. So that's a bit concerning. I actually learned that from Paul, if I'm not mistaken. He told me that at Terrificon. It seems like a lot of those guys went over. Also, the labels not only are just not good looking, but at the same time, how if you're at a con and you're looking through boxes of slabs, and how CGC notes the top of it, the grade and everything. Well, the label is backwards, reversed on it, so you have to look upside down. Jim also noted that even in the back, when it shows the artist, cover artist, and everybody in the back, it's so far up that you have to tilt the slab up. I gotta agree. I think PSA right now, unless they're trying to get some feedback, but like they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. And honestly, I just think this is a huge hit. And some people try and defend them and say, well, they just started it recently, it's new and up and coming. You've announced over a year ago that they were going to do this. They had plenty of time to look at the competition. This isn't the first grading company out there. What people expect. And right now, like, you guys are coming out of the gate, and even the packaging that Jim received made me like, okay, I would definitely not do the PSA. So I don't think, I know we talked about them supposedly maybe taking over and, taking out CGC. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to stay between CGC and CBCS. Maybe PSA can get their stuff together and upgrade their slabs, their looks, and work on some things. But yeah, it's not a strong start for them at all.
And one of the senior graders is the guy David from Comic Book Investments. It's his dad, who's been around for decades. He's been deep into the comic industry, and if this caught past him again, I was like many. I was hoping that PSA would challenge CGC so that we have competition. This really bothered me that they let this go, and I'm sorry to say that Jim found out about it.
It's embarrassing. And again,
it is.
You want to make the best first impression. This is definitely not a good first impression. So I'm sure there will be more to this story. Story's not over, but we do have to move on to these final questions here. Ask Joe and Jeff, why do you think Black Cat has not been in the MCU yet? Seems ridiculous at this point. Well, I'll be honest. I think the first 3 movies were establishing Spider-Man. Well, first 4, I guess, if you include Civil War. But and there was no room in terms of the Avengers films that Spider-Man's been in. But it's probably time now.
It's overtime. Yep. Yeah, that should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: Spider-Man has not been a focus, which is honestly fine. It's cool that Spider-Man has kind of been its own thing. You know, yeah, he did get 3 movies, but they can only do so much. You know, you can't just throw every major and supporting character into the movies, because we saw what happened in, you know, Spider-Man 3. So I'm glad that they've spent their time doing other things, but we are long overdue, because we've not gotten a Black Cat. We got a Felicia Hardy, but we never got a Black Cat. So it is officially time.
How would you guys introduce her?
A burglary.
Like, what would she be wearing?
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, if you're saying it's overdue, like, how would you introduce her into the story?
I would do it. This is the perfect opportunity as a love interest to Peter. MJ doesn't know who he is. It's the perfect opportunity for him to have a new love interest, and it be her.
But we don't know what Peter's life is going to be, so it's hard to say. Like, is he going to be, you know, a photographer at the Bugle? Is he going to meet her as a coworker? Is he going to meet her in school? Josh knows the answer, of course.
No, she was in the first couple of drafts. From what I heard, she's no longer going to be in the movie. Might see her in future. You know, there's a whole new trilogy coming out now, so we might see her in a couple of years. But honestly, I'm not trying to say she's not as known as a character to be on there, but I just feel like they're going to play it safe and keep MJ around, and maybe Gwen Stacy might be introduced at some point. But seriously, I don't think we're going to see Black Cat in the MCU at any point. I just don't.
Don't think, you say there's 0 chance?
I think it's not a 0, but I think it's less than like a 20% chance. Man.
This guy just hates Spider-Man.
He hates
Marvel.
Listen, look at the 2 pretentious people down there. Look at them. We're DC, you know, invented superheroes. Yep. The DC fans right there.
I like Spider-Man. I would like to see Black Cat. I think it would be really cool to see like more female like superheroes, villains in these things. I don't think we get to see enough females enough. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure guys will love to see what she's wearing on top.
Gotham City Siren show. I'd love to see Gotham City Sirens.
Sirens would be cool too.
I just want to mansplain something to you real quick, Naomi. Boys like superheroes, girls like Barbie. So you can.
I love Barbie.
Yeah, exactly. So talk all you want about the Barbie movie. Leave the superhero to us boys. Otherwise,
Oh God.
Oh God.
Ask Joe. Ask Joe. Ask Joe. Ask Joe. Whoa! And Jeff.
That's a nice palette.
Just get myself in trouble.
Yeah, we're all friends here. 2 final questions, real quick. Ask Joe, can you build me a cabin in Montana?
So in college, I went to Harvard. I majored in math. I majored in math, not architecture. So I don't think I could.
Can you pronounce your last name again?
What?
Can you pronounce your last name?
It's a long Polish last name. Don't worry about it.
Starts with a K. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Junction City Slots. Do we still do FTCS? Where have you been? Of course we do.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get to that right now because we're going to get to a segment that the judge does semi-regularly, telling you some issues that you should be on the lookout for and why. Judge, we're going to hit this right now. How do you feel about that?
I'm ready to go. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Ruling from the Bench. I'm Dan Del Torre. This week, we profile once again not 1 but 2 comics for your consideration. Fantastic Four number 166 and 167. With the Thing versus Hulk battles over the years being very classical but also very, very expensive, these 2 are very affordable. What happens is that during an air flight, the Fantastic Four run into the Incredible Hulk and things go downhill from there. This brings in the U.S. Army, who asked the Fantastic Four to capture the Incredible Hulk, which they do. In the end, it winds up into a battle with the Thing versus Hulk, but not like you think. It's a very, very different type of approach they use. And again, it was a wonderful, wonderful story. Everyone should get your hands on this as soon as you can because, again, they're affordable, and I think they're going to go up in value. Everyone, thanks for joining. For the Comic Book Canon Show, I'm Dan De La Torre, and this is Ruling from the Bench. Case dismissed.
Judge, you're so badass. You are
Yeah.
so badass with the thunder and the lightning and all of the stuff and the Ruling from the Bench logo. Probably the best logo in canon history. But those are some wise words because you hit nail on head. Your last Ruling from the Bench, which came out before the Fantastic Four. Tell us why you think this one will be just this one will be just as significant as that when you I'm not making any sense.
Okay, when the Fantastic Four starts to get going, there's going to be a lot of Thing versus Hulk battles. These two are the most affordable, and they're great stories, no question about it. So I think they're long-term spec, but even if they're not, they're great stories to have in your collection. Joe, you're looking down. So looking down, do you not agree?
No. I agree. I mean, the cool thing about collecting comics in general, and I love that you're doing this segment here, is, people know the big keys. People know the first appearances of major characters and so on and so forth. There's a whole lot more to collect than that. There is cool covers. There is first meetings between characters. First time a character gets a new suit. There's also just great storylines. There's books with like phenomenal splash pages that doesn't really have any significance or anything like that to, the greater fandom. Nothing happens that makes the book a key, but you open that first book and you're like, whoa, this splash page is awesome. And, depending on what you collect and what you like, you can pull stuff into your PC.
I'm glad you mentioned that because one of the things I'm going to be doing in the future is that once you open these comics, we look at the cover, right? That grabs your attention. But once you open them, there's all this gorgeous artwork from John Romita to Sal Buscema, John and his brother and so forth, all lost because you didn't open the comic. So anyway, I haven't figured out a way to integrate that into the segment, but I will.
You know what is interesting? Because you're coming up with also, which we have to get to too. We forgot about that. The featured episode issue. What was it?
237. I'm
talking 236. I went back and read that. The Fantastic Four.
Oh, the 20th anniversary, right?
Yeah, that was awesome. I just read it. I love John Byrne. Obviously, I haven't read all of his works there, but just knowing what the issue is about, it was really freaking good. But I read it digitally, and that's another way people should be reading these books too, because Hulk versus Thing is just classic showdown, right? And the last one I remember as recently as 2017. I'm sure it's probably more recent than that, but there was an amazing issue where Thing just got married, and he, it was the Immortal Hulk at that time, and it was just a badass fight. It's just a throwdown, and it's awesome. So, yeah. Well done. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. All right. Here we are, guys. The home stretch, fresh from the comic shop. We've gotten through the arguments, the drama, the interview, the awkwardness of Josh just saying inappropriate things.
But his shirt is still on. Thank God.
His shirt is still on.
Well, that's interesting you mentioned that.
Listen, we are here at Rexy's favorite segment of the show. His favorite segment. So let's all be respectful of our new CEO. Everybody, you watching, please be respectful as well. Like and subscribe. We are now a subsidiary of CNGO, and it's just the new way of life for us. So, yeah.
It's a scientifically proven fact that you'll become 87% sexier and more knowledgeable with a CNGO product on your body. Don't believe me? Here's a scientist.
It is true. I've run the tests, and it is a fact. You'll be 87% sexier and more knowledgeable with a CNGO product on your body.
I hired that guy. Anyways, still don't believe me? Check out Josh. I mean, come on, this guy's a mess, but now sexy. Now, how about Joe? I mean, the guy has no clue, but now, so sexy. And finally, Jeff. Well, what's to say? This guy has always been sexy. So what are you waiting for, Canon Crew? Go to comicnerdsgeekout.com and improve yourself. And hey, we'll finally have something in common, CNGO.
Fresh from the comic shop, sponsored by CNGO.
He likes it, I guess. I don't know.
Major
But
improvements there for
God
sure.
damn, I look good in a shirt and without a shirt too.
Dan, is that a fact, or how do you feel
I'm
about
just
that?
stunned that he didn't try to improve me. I guess I'm too far gone to be improved. So, yeah. But to answer your question, no.
Dan forgot to take his medication. Obviously, being born in the 30s, it messed up the mind. So
Hey,
let's just.
you want me to whip out the Action Comics #1 from the 30s that I got?
I would love to see an Action Comics #1. from
Here's the
30s.
deal. All right, everybody, please support our CEO, Rexy, who is, he has his product CNGO, which we are a subsidiary of. With that said, fresh from the comic shop, you submit your fresh get on the Instagram, and you tag Comic Book Canon in the picture. Use the hashtag FFTCS, but we also look for 3 pieces of criteria in those new fresh gets that you get each and every week. Joe, take it away.
Number 1, we look for something that is a well-composed shot. We want it to be visually stimulating. We want it to put our senses in awe. We want it to look good, proper lighting, a great angle, maybe some scenery. Maybe something that pulls it in, a focal point. Whatever it is, make it a well-composed shot. Now, number two, we want this to be something that's a little unique. Everyone has seen X-Men #1 from 1991, but not everyone's seen X-Men #1 from 1991 that's a double cover or that has some original sketch by Mr. Jim Lee on it, Mr. Jimiford Leington. That's his full name, if you didn't know that. Not everyone has seen something else, maybe an indie book or, a Golden Age book that's been lost to time. Mark Leneker does a great job of showing these. Our third criteria, probably our most important one. Pull at our heartstrings. Tell us the story about how you got this book, what it means to you, what keeps this book at the top of your list in your collection, what makes it a keeper for life, and what sentimental value it holds, because these comic books that we collect, yes, they might have some value to them. Yes, they're great stories and things like that, but they definitely have some sentimental value, and that's why we keep coming back to this hobby, whether we're as young as spry young Joshua, I believe he just turned 17, or as old as Mr. Dan over here, who just hit 90 last week.
Damn.
That moved me, Joe. That really moved me. I'm just choked up now.
Well done. Actually, very well done, Joe. And I do have to say that digital comics at this point would be unique. We haven't seen somebody submit a digital comic yet. However, that would get old after the first submission.
If someone submits an NFT, they're kicked off the show.
Yeah, you'll never be allowed on again.
I'm going to get my fresh gets up right back.
Right. So speaking of fresh gets, oh God, I hate when he does that. It's so 2020, like COVID webinar stuff. We're better than that. Anyways, all right, we're gonna jump into this right now with actually our results from the votes that we took for first we're gonna do this. January winner, Mons Comics. You will be getting a t-shirt. February is Dr. Plagueis t-shirt as well. March winner is supercrispy.comics. April winner is Nori Jordan. The May winner is Mike Hag 77. The June winner is Spuds Comics, and the July winner is Brixco. You will all be getting a t-shirt. I started contacting you all for your shirt size and what shirt you want from CNGO, so please take a look there. For those that are interested in the shirts, the link is down below. First up, we have where the hell are the results? Oh, you got to be kidding me. This is a shit show. All right, well, I don't have the image, but it was Raising Elm versus Caleb Leland, a.k.a. Cable Leland, and Raising Elm came on top with that Usagi Yojimbo submission. So you are in the finals. We will have our next semifinals this week as well as the finals. For something we forgot to say, though, By the way, we are off next week. No show on the canon next week. It is a 5-weekend month, so keep that in mind. But speaking of Caleb Leland, he's submitted another one right here. Boom. Look at that. Enough. That's sexy right there for sure. Hey, comic fan, I hate to step on Jeff's toes, but did you know that by the way, that's not my toes. It's everybody's toes. Tiano, the Batman of Zur and R, was introduced during the Silver Age when comics were really weird. Of course you did. You're all smart, but in the 2000s, Grant Morrison started using the imagery of this character during his run, leading to him reimagining him as Zur and R, a violent backup personality of Batman's. He was created by Bruce Wayne in case he was ever mentally compromised. Then when Chip Zdarsky took over the run, he had the personality created Failsafe, a robot version of Batman that was a contingency plan in case Batman ever fell from grace. Confused? Good. So am I. Anyways, Zur NR creates Ultron, Failsafe, and he decides that he'd be a better Batman than Bruce could ever be. Yeah, comics are still weird, but I'd like to submit this to Fresh Shop on the basis that Jorge Jimenez looking rad as heck. My head hurts now, and I'm going to be reading Archie. I'm sure Zdarsky wouldn't complicate those lovable characters, right? Right? First of all, that cover is awesome. I never read this book. But I do love that Jorge Jimenez cover for sure, and a little bit of a backstory. I just love seeing Cable Leland, a.k.a. Caleb Leland. That is very well done. Let's go first for a fresh get.
I will. Let's do mine first.
Wow.
All right, so update. Last week, I brought to you a really cool piece of original art that I had found. Boom, got this in a collection. Original Matt Wagner. I did a little bit of research. It's from Grendel. What's it called? Behold the Devil. And I was like, yeah, I definitely got a hunt for that. Well, one of my friends who was watching the canon last week actually found the issue for me. And look right there. There's the page that I have the art from.
That is absolutely incredible. This community is fantastic. Well done, everybody. Do you have 2 more submissions or 2 more you want to show off?
I do. I bought a collection this week. It was
that was well done.
Over 100 slabs. Really cool collection. Now it's mostly cheap slabs. Almost all the books are under $100. It's a lot of 9s, 4s, and 9s, 6s of books that have some value with a 9.8. Or, just minor keys and things like that. Some 9/8s of cool variant covers. This was kind of just someone getting rid of all the cheaper stuff that he had, and he wanted to keep some of the better stuff. There was one Golden Age book that I am keeping in my personal collection, Vault of Horror number 36, with this awesome arson cover right here. It's a solid 4.0, which is really what I try. Would I try to get all my pre-code horror in 4.0 or higher, as long as it's affordable in that grade. So this one, I believe I have a raw copy, but I think it's really low grade. So this one is going to be my keeper copy now for Vault of Horror. And there were a bunch of other slabs. Like I said, over 100 slabs in this collection. I think this one is going to be a keeper too, because this one's got that Philadelphia vibe to it. This was a giveaway comic at a Flyers game about 2 years ago. You know which one it is, Jeff? Yeah. So I actually got invited to go to this Flyers game by one of my other comic collector friends who had tickets. And he was like, yo, they're giving out comics at this one. And I couldn't go that night, unfortunately. And I asked him to get me one, but he wasn't able to get an extra one. So now I have it. This is Ant-Man and the Wasp Living Legends #1, and it is a gritty variant. Now, it's an 8.5, and that's actually a decent grade for this book because so many of these were given out for free at the game. So most of the copies you can find were rolled up. Yep. Or a non-comic fan, a kid had it or something like that. And it had to survive through the entire game and then make it home and then into a bag and board. I bet very few people brought bags and boards with them. So yeah, 8.5. I'm not sad about that. Either way, I don't care if this could have been a 4.0. It doesn't matter. It's just the book itself, being a Philly guy. We got
that's so cool. That is very cool. Fantastic.
That's adorable.
That is amazing, by the way. I don't know if you saw him rocking the Flyers.
Ooh, look, we did not plan that. I just want to say we did not.
Wayne
plan
Simmons. That's from way back.
Wayne Simmons.
All right. So moving on. Who else? It's funny because Raising Elm went up against Caleb Leland, and they're both the first submissions we have. Raising Elm is next, as I said. Yo, StreamYard is really bugging me. This is crazy looking. Howdy, comic fam. For the last year and a half, I've been picking up the run of Ultimate X-Men Volume 2, and I have yet to read a single issue. I've just been enjoying collecting a series of cover art by Peach Momoko. She's one of my favorite modern comic book artists. Plain and simple, much love, comic fam. I don't understand what's going on in this picture, though, everybody.
So it looks as though.
And Justin, if you're on, please let us know.
The book is under like a spotlight.
It looks, or a cow.
No,
Yeah,
it looks like it's being covered up by something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Justin, please explain this.
Like there's only light. There's only light on parts of the book.
It's very confusing.
It's almost.
Anyways,
like
all right.
It's a very unique book.
It's very unique. Yeah, I just had a light go out. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, not sorry. All right.
Pay your
moving on.
electric bill.
Huh?
Pay your electric bill, and then your lights won't go out.
This one's still on. Namaste. All right, Joshua, you have a fresh get you want to show? As I bring Dan back to the stage, the judge.
So everybody knows that Baltimore Comic-Con is coming up in like a month and a half or so, and be my first time going, and I am heavy into signatures, and Frank Chow will be there, and he draws the ladies pretty good, and I'm gonna give him a
the
sign.
lady's pretty good.
Well, I mean, you'll see. There's two reasons on this cover why I want him
You'll
to sign
see.
it.
Two reasons? Gee, I
Two
wonder what
reasons
those
on this
are.
cover
Two
why I
big
want him to
reasons?
sign it, but you'll find out. You probably only get it one.
Yep, two reasons. I see.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Keep your shirt on.
So, this is the
Keep your pants
sweater weather variant cover by Frank Chow. He did a couple of these, and I'm gonna
It's
get
a
him
really
to
nice
sign
cover,
that.
to be honest.
It is.
Like,
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean the sweater's right there, but yeah. So I'm gonna get him to sign that.
You bought it for the sweater.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
you
I
read
love
the articles.
sweaters, and you know it gets hot, so.
okay, what do you got? What else you got?
So last week I went to the $1 sale over in New Jersey with Joe, and I picked up Hawkeye issue number 11, and this is actually a pretty cool award-winning Pizza Dog issue, which is Lucky.
That
the
issue's
Pizza
awesome.
Dog, and the comic is pretty much set in his POV. So it's a story of Lucky
very
and him
cool.
following the story. Thought that was pretty cool.
It's cool how, especially when there's no words, it's a bunch of gibberish because he obviously can't understand many human words, and it's very well done.
That's so
Well,
cute.
unless you're like a dog whisperer and you can talk to dogs. I mean,
True, but the way they wrote it, you're not going to understand it.
anyway.
I don't need
And
to go
then the
back and forth
last-
with you. I know.
The last book I picked up, this is at Terrificon, great time. Batman Beyond, issue number 4. The Royal Flush Gang deals a 2 of a kind. Now, this is actually a bit of a key. This is the first appearance of Melanie Walker, who is part of the Royal Flush Gang, but she is technically like the Selena Kyle to Terry McGinnis's Batman. They fall in love, end up having that kind of, you know, Batman falling in love with a villain kind of type relationship. And I would love to see the animated series come back or at least follow the storyline again. So, yeah.
That is
Well
a cool
done,
cover. That's a very cool cover.
For
I
sure.
think that's, if I'm not mistaken, B. Smith.
That's got to be.
I don't know what the first name is, but yeah.
Ryan Smith. Yeah, he did a lot of animated series covers. Did you get that
Speaking
from
of
him?
animated series,
No, but there's it's if you got a higher grade copy, I want to buy the one you had because you got the whole run.
Okay,
So,
maybe.
All right, well, here we go. We're going to move on to Mark Lineker. Look at this right here, right here. Spider-Boy number 1 from 1993 and Spider-Boy from 2024. Amalgam Spider-Boy was a mashup of Ben Reilly and Superboy. Look for the first Marvel DC facsimile of this title in October as part of the crossover celebration starting September. It's been a generation. Can you believe it? Spider-Boy #1 is the Yoon variant homaging ASM 100. I wasn't aware of this variant before. That is a very cool variant. I love the homage to Amazing Spider-Man 100. I actually like how he's presented this as well. I think he's done a great job with this. So well done, Mr. Leneker. Naomi, do you have any books?
I do. I do
Let's
have
see what
some.
you got.
Okay, so got another
Whoa. You got
What
something?
alien creature is that?
Oh,
Be careful.
It's my cat.
Oh, okay.
But you're in danger.
I got a new a special edition of The City Beneath Her Feet from Distillery themselves. They sent it to me.
Love Distillery.
So yeah, they sent that to me, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I haven't had a chance to read it, but I saw the back, and I thought that was pretty dope. I like that. And then went thrifting, and I found this really cool Return of the Jedi old school book from '83. It's not in the best condition, but definitely came home with me. I was really excited. And Joe, you'll really love this one. Just so you know, you'll really love this one.
Okay.
It's my Barbie.
Oh hell yeah!
It's from '97. If you guys remember, this was very '90s. That you would get like a little paintbrush.
Yep.
And you would go in and you would paint them.
Yep.
Yes, and you would go in. So never been painted. And
wow.
Yes, it's never been touched or anything. And I took it and I was like, I'm taking that with me. I'm not going to paint it, but.
Well, I thought you did paint that. I was about to give you a compliment saying it was a great job.
No, so they came with the paint on it, and you took the paintbrush with water and you like it would spread throughout like the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you couldn't go outside the lines.
Correct. So it was very one of those. It was very '90s. So I found that, and
that's very cool. That Return of the Jedi book looks freaking awesome. Like that is for me. That's your big get. I love that.
I was really excited when I found it. I used to own a bookstore, so I know where to find like a bunch of stuff.
Did you drop that bomb on us right now?
Yeah.
I used to own
you.
I used to own a bookstore. I actually had a lot of the novels from that era in my bookstore. So those I kind of wish I still had them, but a lot of those. Mm-hmm.
We need to talk. All right. Joe's furry persona is on that cover. I don't know, but look at my wife, loving CNGO. She's just kissing ass to the CEO. I think she has a crush on him, by the way.
It's the red hair.
It is definitely the red hair. All right. Moving on, we have look at this, our very own Josh's Comics.
Hey, look at that.
Look at that for sure. Look at that presentation, everybody. He's showing you how to do this. Variant cover art by Natalie Sanders, homage to Catwoman #51 by Adam Hughes. One of my favorite Terrificon pickups. Grab this for a great deal from 3 Men in a Basement, who always have amazing deals. Natalie Sanders has become one of my favorite artists who does a phenomenal job with the ladies. By the way, have you all noticed that he loves saying with the ladies? Enjoy this beautiful fresh from the comic shop and follow and subscribe to 3 Men in a Basement. P.S. Jeff, since you are reading this, let's get the 3 Men in a Basement on the show. Well, gee, Josh, if you're a bigger fan before you became a bigger star, you would have known that 3 Men in a Basement have been on the show.
Yep. Oh, well, okay. Get him back on the show again so that way we can highlight.
Are you the talent booker? Last time I checked, you were the news guy.
I mean, we haven't really had any... Oh, okay.
Jeff. So I also was pronouncing that artist's name Natalie due to the no E at the end. But her name, first of all, I thought it was a guy named Natalie, but it is a woman named Natalie. It's Natalie Sanders. It's just spelled like Natalie is often spelled. Recently, in the same like month, found out that Natalie Sanders is Natalie Sanders and is a woman, and I also found out that Shannon Mayer is a man.
Thank you for honestly, this has enlightened everybody in the universe for what you've spoken. We truly appreciate the knowledge. And speaking of knowledge, we're gonna have Nukes Comics getting it in before the. There were 2 submissions we were not able to show, by the way, because they were late. but we'll show him next time. Fresh from the comic shop, Amazing Spider-Man 237, down on his luck. Stiltman upgrades his battle suit and challenges the only hero he's ever beaten, Spidey. Now, Spider-Man must face him again to settle the score. Will Spidey survive this battle? Great broken title cover by Ed Hannigan. I picked this up while long boxing at DBS. Who says run-fills can't be fun-filled? Good stuff indeed. I love this cover. I love this cover. It's so freaking cool. Very well done there. Nukes. Judge, I'm sure you have some books you want to show.
I do. I want to pay an homage to our good friend Joe. I mean, and he's done a couple favors for me, and I never did thank you, Joe, for what you did. You gave, first of all, this to me is a giveaway, very generous giveaway, and this is a first appearance, isn't it? Do you remember who was in this?
It might be a minor first appearance, but it's the first Laura Kinney as Wolverine. First time she takes on that.
That's right. Very cool, and thank you for that. But you did me a huge favor, and these are two grails here that I've wanted. And you kind of you held them for me, and I appreciate that. One was one I've wanted for the longest time, ASM 300. And the sad story behind this one, I was collecting comics. I was doing the ASM run. This wasn't at my LCS. I missed like several of them, 300, 301, 299. They just I don't know why they didn't show up. It was Comic Relief in Berkeley, one of the best comic stores you could possibly get. Took me years to finally get it. And finally, this one here too, I had opportunity after opportunity, never turned on it till just now. First Deadpool. Thank you to Joe. Joe, thank you so much. I really appreciate what you did, and I just wanted to pay you homage today.
I only paid him $100 to do that little spiel for me. So
now I feel bad for talking bad to you.
Yeah,
all this time.
You can be out of incognito right now. Take the glasses off and show yourself. You're out of the witness protection program.
Actually,
I won't just.
Junction City Slot says you're so nice.
Thank you, Junction City Slots. I'm definitely not quite sure who you may be, but I appreciate it.
And here's the deal. I finally went to the comic book shop, my comic book shop. I have this pull list, and it was freaking massive. But we're going to go with the green theme today, okay? A green theme, right? That's my favorite color. I got green eyes. I love the Eagles, etc., etc. I love this Green Lantern cover. Green Lantern number 25. And I wish, it's actually, there you go. From the all-in push. Then Absolute Batman number 11. I do believe this is the first cover appearance of Absolute Bane. Very cool cover right there. I'm enjoying the Absolute run. And finally, one of my favorite new characters in series, and actually just publisher in general, the Unnamed Universe. And by the way, I did have an opportunity to show any sort of Energon, G.I. Joe Transformers, and Void Rivals, but I declined because I went with a green theme. Geiger, look at this cover. If you guys aren't reading Geiger, I pity the fool. Anyways, I love that cover. Gary Frank's artwork just blows me away. All right, Joe, we got some decisions to make.
I'm green with envy.
You sure are, because I got the Geiger. Seriously, everybody read Geiger. Joe, we got some decisions to make here. And look at the judge being intimidating as usual. All right, here's the deal. I liked three. I liked three.
Are they all eligible?
They are all eligible.
All right, show all three of yours. I bet they overlap with mine.
Okay. Mark Leneker. I love the presentation.
Yep.
I've never seen this variant either, by the way. Not saying that it's unique or rare or what have you, and obviously with the crossover of DC and Marvel, this is relevant right here with that Spider Boy. So that is very cool. It's also the mashup here of two different Spider Boys. So I like that. The second one I do like is Caleb's, actually. I love the Batman cover right there. I love the attempt at the backstory. And then finally, I like this cover here, Nuke's Comics. We have this Amazing Spider-Man. What is it? 237, which is actually the episode of today's show.
Oh.
Yes. We haven't done the episode featured episode issue yet. So
there you go.
Yeah. Those are the three that I like, and I'm definitely leaning one way.
So I'll tell you that I only had two in mind, and two of them were the ones that you had said. Mark Leneker's great presentation. Awesome that he, a little bit unique that he picked, two books, and also one of them is a variant cover, one of them is a crossover, comparing these two characters. A little history lesson here. We love that. And then Caleb's as well was the other one that I was thinking. Not only is cool Batman book, but another history lesson. We've got this, hearkening back to the Silver Age. And I love it when they do that. This is like a pretty obscure Silver Age storyline. This isn't some like, oh, hello.
Is that crypto?
Oh.
Not to distract, but that is adorable.
Who is that?
That's Zadie, my daughter.
Oh, I love her. Tell her I said
I thought you were a cat person.
I'm an everything person. I talk to Joe, so
This is how Josh picks up women.
Damn, Naomi.
Right.
All right.
Shots
Anyways,
fired. Wow.
Judge, keep us on track. Order in the court. Come on, buddy. We pay you a retainer.
Even I was distracted by the dog. So
okay, that's all right. I am leaning one way, Joe.
Between those two,
Yeah.
it's tough. All right, I have mine
Judge, how do we go about this?
on three.
on three, as usual. I'll count. One. No, don't you jump, Jeff. You've done that before. 1, 2, 3.
Mark Leneker.
Cool. We're good.
Oh, we got it.
Leneker. Yeah.
Mark Leneker, you are moving on to the finals. You'll go against last week's semifinalist, and we will vote on that early this week. And again, we'll have the finals this week too, but we won't be able to show it on the show. So maybe we'll make a big announcement on the socials. We do not have a show next week. We don't. Sorry. Hold on.
yeah, you cut him off.
Yeah, I did. God, I'm just so eager to get out of
You
here.
did this twice in a row, Mr. Jeff. Come on. You got to do this officially.
I'm sorry.
All right. Take your hat off.
Your Honor, I apologize profusely. Please.
The winner for this week is Mark Leneker. Case dismissed.
Congratulations, Mark Leneker. You are moving on to the finals to go up against last week's semifinalists. There will be a vote this week, and then we'll have the finals vote as well. By the way, I did not give us the featured episode issue. Well done, Dan De La Torre, because we all hate Nazis. And Captain America issue number 237, Cap and the Falcon face the sinister machinations of Baron Blood, a vampiric Nazi with ties to Cap's past as the battle unfolds. Cap is forced to reckon with the lingering shadows of World War II and the horrors that never truly die. It's a story that blends superheroics with gothic horror, showing that that even Captain America can't escape the darkness of history. Written by Roger McKenzie and Don Perlin, with art by one of the judges' favorites, Sal Buscema. All right, so we did it at the end of the show instead of the beginning, but we got it in. Thank you all so much for joining. It was a great show this week with great guests. I'm super excited for Spawn. I hope you all are too. Let's support our friends of the community. And if you can, pre-order that book. It looks amazing for sure. And twisted. Joshua, let's talk to us. Say goodbye.
Another great episode of Canon. I'm really looking forward to Spawn's Christmas special. I'm not actually a Spawn guy, but I think it's a cool idea for a comic. And hey, maybe we'll get a comic book canon variant of all of our bodies with our heads chopped off.
That's a good idea.
I think that'd be
You
cool.
took my idea.
Go support Comic Nerd Geek Out. Buy some t-shirts. Support us, actually. And, maybe get some big beef merchandise in the work. I know there's a couple of furry merchandise things going around. I'm hearing. We'll have to see. And, appreciate everybody. And, subscribe and hit the like button for the channel.
Can we tell Eric what we are talking about? Naomi, we're saying goodbye to the episode.
No.
We're saying goodbye to the episode. Okay, goodbye, episode.
All right, cool. And tell Eric what we're talking about. But
yeah, I'll let him know.
Comics and stuff.
We're talking about comic books.
Comic books. Judge, give us a send off.
All right, you can catch me on Spine Takes next Saturday at 8 o'clock, and I'll be with you guys in 2 weeks. This show is growing. I love what we're doing here. We're very creative people. We're getting a little R-rated, But anyway, that's okay. But love you guys. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
For sure. I guess, Joseph, that leaves the two of us. Do you want to
Yeah, I just want to say, like, we definitely have gotten a little bit more R-rated, a little bit raunchier. I think it is the hormonal imbalance that that Naomi has brought to the table here. It's not necessarily a bad thing. We'll try to tone it down. I'm gonna get one of those cat spray bottles, and then anytime she's acting up,
yeah.
Actually, you know what would be good for that?
Yes,
Lab deck.
Lab deck. Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble with Rexy. Anyway, thank you all for watching. It has been a pretty crazy summer for me. I'm glad things are going back to a little bit more normal over here for me. I'm glad the weather is cooling down because I cannot handle any more heat. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for capping off every weekend for me and making it a great time.
For sure. Quick question. Is there going to be a back deck fest?
Yes. So currently in the works, figuring things out right now. There likely will be a Vatican. For those of you who don't know, that is Pope of Chilitown's version, where he does a little driveway sale at his house. My version is called Back Deck Comic Fest because it's on the deck in my backyard. And Vatican, I'm going to let Pope talk about it, but he's trying to do his sooner rather than later. So I decided to kind of defer mine until after New York Comic-Con and Baltimore Comic-Con. So mine will likely be late October, early November, before the weather gets too cold. We'll do it, a Sunday afternoon or maybe a Saturday to avoid football season and get some comics out there and hang out.
For sure. We should get them on the show to promote it. Okay, everybody. Thank you again so much for spending time. It's our most precious commodity here with us on a Sunday night. We truly love putting the show on and having a good time doing it. Again, we are off next week, but we will be back on September the 6th with episode 238. Until then, everybody, please be good to you, yourself. And I don't have the outro video, but I'm going to get it right now. God, Susan, this is your job. Come on. But anyways, everybody, be good to yourself. Be good to others. Peace.
So my name's Joe.